you know I want it deep inside. Free your mind, and I'll take you for a ride and make you wanna call my name. I am the reason that you feel like you're alive. Call for me, I'll keep you breathing. You'll be my heartbeat parasite. It's alright, let your notice side come out and touch me. Scream all night, that's what I like. You'll be my heartbeat parasite. Oh, my heartbeat parasite. My heartbeat parasite.
What is up, Vigo's Court? How is everyone doing this evening?
Hi guys, how are we doing today? I am your host, Judge Shep, and I'm joined by the fabulous, the wonderful, the incredible Counselor Q.
Oh, I don't need you to be hyping me up too much. I need to make sure my head can still fit out the door so I can head out of the courtroom. You know what I'm saying? How you feeling though?
I was gonna say, you know what today is all about? Today is about having a good time. I'm feeling
True.
good, and I'm not saying anything that's not true. So let me have this. But I'm feeling great. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I am very much looking forward to seeing the twists and turns that are thrown at our survivors and our killers today. I always love kind of seeing the different strategies, the different challenges that get thrown our players' ways whenever we do these fun exhibition matches. Of course, this is a good way for like not only our fans to give the players a fun challenge, right? But it's also a good way to like help support Vigo's Court, help us increase our prize pools. Because our goal here is to like become one of the highest like prize pool leagues in the scene, right? So we like to be able to reward our players.
Yeah, of course. And reward our players is also kind of what we're here for today. So for those of you guys who haven't been here for a Playstream stream before, this is your guys' chance to kind of like take the reins, right? Like you've been to our matches before, you've seen how we run things, you get to watch. We have a lot of predetermined stuff. Teams come in with a map they're already going to be playing on. We have rosters locked, all that kind of stuff. Today is about having fun and letting the community be a community. So you guys actually get to come in and influence how the games go. Which I think is really exciting. It's been really fun the past couple of times we've done it. Well, I think
Agreed.
it's been really fun.
Yeah, I think it's been really fun, and especially because like, one, it's a way to like make things challenging for the players, but two, it's also like kind of fun. We've been seeing, where you can make some people run some no-mither gamers. We've seen teams of no-mither gamers. We've seen, no mither with I think a self-heal last week, I think, with
No, not the no mither healing build.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a good way to have some fun, and again, like it's also a good way too to like, again, we're trying to kind of help support our players. They come out here week after week, they put the time and the grind in, so it's kind of a good way to give back.
Yeah, and for those of you who don't know, this is your opportunity to kind of support your favorite teams too. Everything that you put into this, the teams who complete the challenges get something out of this.
Yep.
So this is a way to like show your support for them too. If you for some reason, which is insane to feel like this, but if you for some reason feel like showing up and watching them compete is not enough, which it is, but if you feel like it's not and you want to do more, this is a way to do that. This is a way to show kind of like your appreciation and have a lot of fun with it too. Like it's not just like, oh, let me just wave a flag, woo. Like it's like, okay, like let's have a lot of fun together, and you get to traumatize your favorite players,
Right.
Your favorite league players.
And it's fun too because you can like, you can mix some things up too. I mean, you could let's say you can choose a killer, like I don't know, a wraith, and then also make it so where all of the survivors have to bring in a particular item, like I don't know, a flashlight, and just make things really fun. Or I don't know, like have an Oni pick.
Enable your friends bullying each other.
Yeah, exactly.
There we go.
See, no mithers going against Oni. You can switch things up and have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, And you guys get to influence how the game goes today. It's a little bit of, it's kind of also our way of saying, hey, thank you for being here with us. Like, let's all be involved together, because we're a community. This is all of us together, and this is how we can kind of like give back a little bit more and get everyone else involved too. Like, make it fun for all of us.
So while we start kind of getting our players kind of loaded in and everything, it's interesting to note that obviously, we're in week 11. So we're coming down the home stretch here when we talk about our regular season, right? And we actually saw yesterday that we had the face-off of our 2 unbeatens, correct?
Hmm. We did indeed. And it was a very exciting game.
Now, if I'm
In
not
fact,
mistaken, I think it resulted in Demise taking down Arctic Wolves, correct?
it did. I don't know what anyone I know for sure. I didn't know what to expect out of that game because those are two teams. Obviously, they were undefeated for a reason. They are very skilled teams, and I don't know if anyone went into that knowing what was going to happen.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it was very interesting.
I think what's also interesting is that when you look kind of across the board, I guess really you can only say it that we've had 3 now teams that are 1 loss, and 2 of them actually lost on their home field, so to speak, which is kind of interesting.
I think so too. Yeah, that's an interesting trend.
Right. I don't think that's anything to say that like home field advantage doesn't like mean anything or anything like that, but it's just kind of an interesting stat when you look at it. Granted, it's a very small sample size. We're talking about 3 1-loss teams, so.
Yeah. I mean, I think too, something adaptability, something like, I think what it really comes down to is the map doesn't really matter that much, and that good teams will be able to make anything work, I guess. That's kind of how I was taking it, like looking at that statistic too. It's like, well, it's not necessarily maybe that home field advantage doesn't exist. I just think it speaks to the adaptability of the players.
Yep. And I mean, and speaking about maps, I mean, so that's one other thing that's even fun, that thing that we can kind of change around with the Playstream games, right? Because there is no home field today. We're not going to be talking about, where our players are going to be talking or where they're going to be playing throughout the course of the 4 trials. That is one of the things that, our viewers can change, correct?
Absolutely, yeah. So if you guys want to send everyone to RPD,
if you want to send everybody to RPD and spread the hooks and make everybody run boil over.
Oh, that's so mean. Hey, don't forget, guys, bleed outs are equal 0 points. Ah!
Not like this.
Yeah. Not like this, but it do be what it do be. Yeah, you guys could definitely do that.
We saw Midwich come up. I don't know if that was last week or the week before, but we've seen Midwich come up in our Playstream event games. I don't think we've had an RCPD yet.
No, but we did have a Batum that wasn't like the one Batum we used. Can I always get fucked up by the fact that there are 5 Batums?
Yep.
Like, why?
Because it'd be just for different levels of torture,
I guess so. It's like the levels of hell.
Yeah.
2 more and you got it. Jesus.
I'm trying to think about some of the other the fun kind of things that we've seen kind of come up through our first couple of weeks of this.
Okay. I know I'm probably the only one excited about this, but we saw a Ghostface game. It was really fucking funny.
I mean, I feel like the one thing that's been pretty consistent is we have generally gotten challenges for the killers as far as who they want to see.
Yeah. We saw a nurse. We saw a no mither squad against a nurse. And you know what? As somebody who was on that team, we still got like a 1 out. So
I remember someone tried to tell me I got a 4. I was like, nah, ain't no way.
No way. No, G-Man definitely killed like 3 of us. And honestly, he had to get it was really funny because one of the challenges he got was he had to get a Mori.
Oh no.
And the Mori, he Mori'd me. And that is why we got the 1 out. Like, I think we could have gotten it anyway. It was really fucking funny. But, yeah, like, because he had to complete that challenge, he got a 1 out on him. And that's the thing about this too, guys. Like they have to complete the challenge or else you get refunded what you put in.
Yep.
Like if the challenge isn't completed, it gets refunded to you. So if you're worried about that kind of thing, don't be. Like, we got you.
Yeah, it's I know like Vader's also been playing around with Playstream as far as to his actual like stream and stuff too, and I've kind of seen like I really like the way that the challenges kind of interact and kind of instantly like refund that money back. That way, if it doesn't get you don't get to see the challenge, then maybe you get to challenge the next killer that's up and throw a different wrench into the gears. You know what I mean?
And so I have a couple challenges that I want to share with you guys. Hold on, I gotta scroll because there's a lot of them. There's a lot of really fun ones, honestly. Like looking through these, I'm like, these are great. Hold on, I have to find them though. Hold on.
Well, again, I know that like
So-
the one where you can force them to bring in like particular items and stuff too, right?
Yeah, so we do have one called Perk Roulette Round. Each player will be given builds, items, and offering, and a win condition that they must meet. And I think this is randomly generated, so we will like literally do a perk roulette, and everyone has to play with what we give them. And we use a different website for that. But it generates the perks, it generates the item and add-ons that they must bring, and it generates yeah, just the perks and items and add-ons. I'm sorry, I thought there was a third thing. It was items and add-ons. So like if you love playing perk roulette as much as I do, then you can make your favorite comp players play perk roulette, and who knows, maybe you end up with like a self-care no mither. It's really fucking funny.
Yeah, I mean, we always see how the Vigo's court loves to see Susie. Instead of just hoping that somebody picks Susie, you can just be like, hey, I want to see you play Susie. We saw someone play a Chase
Did you hear
Hag
that?
last weekend.
We did, yes, we did see Chase Hag. That was fucking funny. And then we also have one that is by the trial. And with this package deal, you can pick one build, contract, and win condition for the survivor side, the killer played, the map, the killer build, and a condition for the killer side. This is limited to the challenges that we do have to offer, but if you buy the trial, you pretty much decide what everything is going to be set as. Like, you decide the setting. Like, you get to set the stage, and everyone's got to, like, deal with that. So like when we say
That's
you
a new
can
one, right?
influence-
That's gotta be a new
yeah,
one.
that's a new one. That's a new one that we added very recently. So when we say that you can influence what happens, like you can influence what happens, by a lot. So if you guys are interested in doing that, check !Playstream. You can see all of our challenges. You can redeem some challenges. And again, this goes towards benefiting, not just Vigo's Court, but also the teams that you like to support. This benefits our teams, and this also is us setting up for next season. We have a lot of really cool, exciting plans for next season, and this is a part of that.
Yeah, I mean, remember our goal here is to try and make it to where, like, here, Vigo's, we're one of the highest, like, payout leagues for its players and having some, like, a lot of fun. And Playstream has given us a chance where they're, matching what you guys are putting down for not only our not only for the league's prize pool, but also the direct payout for the players themselves. They kind of have a chance to make a little bit of extra scratch too. So honestly, a really cool thing.
Yeah, it's really, really fun. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what you guys do to your friends, because you know who always does the most fucked up shit to other people? Friends.
True though. So what does it mean if they don't throw any challenges our way? Is it just a cold tower free-for-all game, basically?
So we do still follow like league rules. So pretty much it's gonna be a cold tower free-for-all. If anyone was wondering, these don't count towards regular like league standings. So this is just kind of like a fun exhibition match where these teams will get to show off what they're really made of. Of course, they still have to follow league rules. You can only have one of each perk except for borrowed time. We don't care about, I think roster rules are a little looser, and killer usage does not matter here. So it really is, if you guys don't redeem anything, that's okay. These teams will still get their chance to show what they are made of. With loosening a little bit of the restrictions of normal league play.
Yeah, it's just kind of nice too to get together and still be able to play a little bit more of like in that competitive spirit, but like not simply in a scrim environment. I mean, we've kind of talked a couple of times. We do have some players who, even though it might not be their first rodeo when it comes to comp, I mean, every rep is kind of some important reps. So it is another opportunity that we get here. But, you know, keep in mind, you guys get to kind of have the opportunity to play the role of the observer, I guess you could say, right? Like normally killers are kind of or I shouldn't say predetermined, but as far as it goes, you know, the teams kind of have to set a strategy throughout the season depending on where they're playing, who they're playing against. Here you can kind of force their hand a little bit.
Again, it's really like your guys' chance to get to I don't know, like mess around with your favorite, like with your friends, because a lot of us are friends here, right? Like the community's not that large. So a lot of us are friends. So this is a chance to be like, hey, I don't know, why am I blanking?
I mean, imagine though, like the other thing too, like you could always have some fun and like imagine giving a competitive killer like Scratch Mirror Mikey on Larry's, like setting that up.
Yeah, you guys could be like, hey, Keeperly, play Scratch Mirror on Larry's.
Yeah.
Like, but we are ready to go for our first game of the day. So I hope you guys are as excited as I am.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and let them know here. And yeah, I mean, we've been seeing here, it's interesting, right? Because like I feel like we've seen just across the board, even throughout this season here at Vigo's Court, like throughout the course of, I mean, now we're in week 11, a lot of like close contention, like kind of like yeah, you have a couple. Whoa, that was a little bit. Oh, we got us a Huntress game at the. Do I switch here now? Do I switch back to Killer? Do I make him play the Huntress? I think we make him play. I think we do the Huntress this game.
Let me see if we have time.
Let's do it. I haven't been on this side. That was actually surprisingly, like, that actually kind of scared me. I was like, what in the world is that?
Like, whoa, hold on.
Okay, I did see though that now the 5th readied up. So do we just do I switch back over to spectator and that comes in for the next game?
Don't switch. Hold on. We're gonna make them play it.
Let's do it, baby.
All right,
switching over to the Huntress.
We're gonna make somebody on Deadheads play Huntress.
Which is awesome though, because if you remember, Kashak? No, Kashak. It's Kashak.
I have PTSD every time we have to say his name. I'm like, wait.
But Kashak has a relatively nasty Huntress. So for that to come across here is actually really cool. And it does look like Kashak was already ahead of us here. And if that's the case, I'm going to go ahead and switch over to my spectator role then. So it looks like that's what we're getting. I'm here for it. If I'm not mistaken, we had... I'm trying to remember. I think it was on...
Contract accepted.
It was on... Temple of Purgation he popped off against Hex Girls, I think.
Yes.
Which is on my YouTube. Just saying. All right, so we're going to go ahead and see here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 bloodied blueprints. We've got a cut coin. Deadheads are on the survivor side. Let's talk about how they're looking at putting some points up on the board here.
Let's talk about it, you guys. Okay, so how do we look at our points here? Well, of course, the hooks are important, but really what matters the most is that third hook, that death hook, because you get the most points for it. However, if they progress to third hook, it's worth 1 point less, so maybe try to get those unique hooks if you can help it. The 7th and 8th progressions, regardless, will be worth 1 point each. 4Ks are an extra 2 points, so kill them all. If you have to get for those progressions, you can make it up there. Entity kills are going to be worth the corresponding hook state plus the progressions. So if they die on first hook, they'll get the second and third hook as progressions. Bleed outs, however, like I said before, they're worth 0 points. So you can get nothing for all that effort. There are 30 points on the table here for our teams to earn. For more on rules, type exclamation mark rules in chat.
All right, let's take another trip back into the fog. And I got to say that we had another contract come across here, and I believe that should still count for this game. I want to double check with the birdie in your ear, but it was a 4K contract, so I believe that should be coming out for Kashuk here, right?
Yes. I
And
actually don't know if that one's going to be for Kashak. It depends on if we were able to tell them in time.
also, what's your thoughts on the we've got the new lullaby here. What's your thoughts?
Hey, that new lullaby is pretty fucking spicy, honestly. Like, I like the original lullaby, but this new one, like, they're both creepy in different ways, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah, and I
Also, her
really
sounds are
like
just
this.
meh.
Yeah, I really like the sounds are really cool. We do see though Calais moving in here with taking the M1, going to build a little bit of distance here. But oh, gets done stupid. Ultra plus 10 wood to the
Yeah,
face, camping the
palette.
pallet out here, and we're coming back over here. We're gonna miss this one. That's now going to deplete out the resources here as far as our hatch is going to have to stop. Now the only question is, do we have anybody that's stuck around?
It looks like we do see a couple of scratch marks, and we hear somebody crying. There was somebody in that jungle gym, but interesting to see Kashak go ahead and continue chase with somebody else.
Yeah, and we do see that Kashak has found into the middle portion of the map. Has actually found 2 survivors here. We've also found one of them being one of our previously injured survivors, the Megan here. So we are working with them. We are probably going to be seeing, at least we saw the 1 pallet removed here. Now moving towards the TNL portion of the map that is actually back here. What is this? The 11 o'clock portion. We do see Megan is going to be able to go towards the long wall. We've seen 1 gen pop and able to make it through the L wall as well, while also making Kashak here hit the little bit of the lip, which is going to just prolong this chase a little bit more.
And these survivors doing a really good job of, ooh, I jinxed it. I'm so sorry.
Caster's curse. You should have known. You should have known.
I was just gonna commend them on doing a good job. I'm sorry.
And we're gonna see here that pretty much right as we get to. Did that kick not even count? That's spicy. So of course, after the pretty much as the generator gets uncovered, there that's in the middle with the deadlock, we are seeing a second generator that gets done. I don't even know if the actual damage to that generator came in before it actually took the entity took it here. So we are going to see Kashak kind of hang out in the area, but with quite a bit of hang time, we might see our survivors here crank out another gen or 2.
Yeah, I definitely think that's a possibility here. They've already popped 2 in pretty short order. So 2 generators for 1 down, a couple of injured sites isn't so bad, I think.
Yeah, and especially too, I mean, we do see our survivors were able to get the reset there as well. So, I mean, they're at least able to be able to move in here a little bit. Probably going to be requiring 2 players, and they're going to need to move in very quickly if they're going to want to get this save before the second stage. We do actually look like might be seeing our survivors no, not retreating. However, I would say now that the second stage has been forced, I would not be surprised to see our survivors opt to drop back, maybe try and grind a little bit more objective work out here, and then move back in again for another save.
Yeah, we do kind of see that happening here too. We've seen our survivors have said, okay, I guess you can have them for now, and are going to go get some work done until it's maybe a little bit safer to go pull the survivor off of the hook.
Yeah, you're like, all right, fine, have our friend. We're gonna go do some more objective work. It's not a big deal. It is worth noting though, as far as for our add-ons here, it's kind of part of the reason that makes saving against a Huntress so tough, right? Because I mean, we are gonna see the babushka plus the oaked half. It's basically decreased the wind-up time double. So it's, I mean, if you get hit with the hatchet before you actually get to move in for the save, it's a very easy trade, right?
Yeah, and I mean, I think a lot of the times we see that saving against a Huntress does end up having to be a trade. Oh gosh, yeah. I'd saving against the Huntress is always so iffy. I get and we see a beautiful body block there.
This is tough because she's out of hatchets too, right? So we now see the plus 10 wood
no.
to the face. She is gonna, Kashak is, the Huntress here is gonna turn around and they are going to kick the generator, but you don't have any pop as we've seen throughout here. You are going to go ahead and reload your hatchets, but you have now lost track of the person that is injured and your hook survivors. Well, you found Ultra here though. However, a really ultra smart decision pre-leaving and is actually going to be able to get around the main building. You also see the heal coming across onto our Megan here as well. That is our survivor that was forced onto the second stage. So our survivors doing a really good job. Even though Kashak had basically held the survivor right in the middle of the map, you're able to regain control. And that, remember, that middle gen's really close to popping.
Yeah, I think Kashak's kind of forced into a situation where he does have to keep an eye on this middle gen. And I mean, really smart on her survivors. Ultra going ultra speedy to go ahead and get to a safe. Oh my god, caught like the edge of her nose there. Kashak doing what Kashak does best and laying down those snipes.
This is tough though, because now you've only got one more hatchet left here. You can still hear this generator right next to us. That thing's knocking like a Ford in the middle of December, just thinking about ready to go. Have to imagine though, we've also seen multiple survivors attacking that gen up at the 1 o'clock position here. Yeah, the one that we're actually throwing those hatchets at there. So I'm wondering how close that is. And maybe even if we've got a survivor rotating on that one in the back, they're really splitting the pressure here because it's still a 4v1.
Yeah, this is really intense. I mean, Kashak kind of has like a little bit of a 3-gen. He can kind of stand in the middle and see all of the generators. And as Huntress, he doesn't even really have to move that far to put pressure down on them. But there are 4 survivors left on the table, and there's only 3 generators, and only one of them has to go. So that's like not a very comfortable position to be sitting in for sure.
I understand that against a Huntress, the pallet isn't as big of a deal because, of course, it forces you like into that locked animation, and then a Huntress can take advantage of that. But seeing Kashak continue to rotate around that pallet and not do anything about it was really starting to deal a little bit with me. What we do see here, we are getting the nice hatchet hit onto Ultra. However, I think at this point we are going to be committing to the chase and away from that generator, which should result in that middle gen popping. The question is, are we going to be able to get a second fresh hook survivor at least secured before that point? We're actually going to see generator number 5 getting popped. We do have a hook that's relatively close to this door. I'm not sure if you're going to be able, it's going to be tough securing it though, because you can see in the bottom right hand corner, no head, or on the right hand corner I should say.
Yeah, so I mean, if our survivors know what they're doing, and if this season is anything to go by, they do know what they're doing, then they should be able to theoretically get a 4 out here. But that other door is pretty far. Actually, this hook's kind of far from both doors.
Yeah, and I mean, I think the other thing too, you have to keep in mind, you're not going to want to give away the elimination, and your other 2 survivors are both fresh hook, so you might as well just go ahead and take the 3 out there, right?
Monarchy going ahead and making the smart decision to just get the hell out. Unfortunately, Ultra was sacrificed to the entity. But something for the greater good. Something. something.
Yeah, for the greater good. I agree with
For the
it.
greater good. Ultra made the ultimate sacrifice. It sounded stupid to say ultra sacrifice, so
I mean, sometimes you just have to go with the dad jokes. You know what I mean?
I'm not a dad. No, that's a lie. I'm teen dad, but
Team
like,
dad.
I'm still growing into my dad position.
I would say you kind of play the dad role for Vigo's court from time to time. So I mean that's fair, right?
Sometimes sometimes it feels like I have to play the dictator, but very rarely. So. It's just because I yell a lot. It's only because I yell a lot. It's not because of any, like, I don't do anything important here. I just yell.
Someone's got to, you know? The only way to keep people in line around here sometimes. But no, yeah, really good first trial there. We did see we saw the new Huntress skin even. Unfortunately not going to be able to get the 4K. However, I think we had talked about, I think that might have ended up being floated up for the next challenge, right?
We didn't get it to them in time. That was
Okay.
I'm going to admit that was my fault.
To be
I
fair,
put
it
that
came
one in.
across like as we were loading in, so.
Yeah, I was having trouble getting Playstream to load. So that one's gonna go into our next
However,
this game.
Kashak did complete the Huntress, so not only does that add help contribute to the Vigo's play pool, but also some of that money will also be going towards our team for the Deadheads, correct? In case we have anybody that's new here, just so they understand how everything's working.
The $5 challenges don't go to the teams. That kind of goes to
just the
general prize pool.
Right.
It's like $5, you know. Not saying don't do it, like definitely. It's $5, which is
but for sure though. But the $5 ones though, again, those ones do contribute to the prize pool. And again, our whole goal here is we do want to end up being one of like the highest prize pool, or the highest prize pool league, I should say, in the scene. And we've got some things in the works for that. But also we want to kind of gauge interest. We've known a lot of people have kind of been having fun, throwing some challenges at the both sides, both survivors and killers thus far. I think this is our fourth scrimmage like this. Is that right?
Third. It's our third scrim like this. Yes.
Okay, so y'all only did one of these without me. Okay, I thought y'all had done two
we've
of these.
We've only done one without you, but we actually have two scheduled for this weekend. We do have another Playstream match coming up this weekend on Saturday, so we will have had 4 done by the time this weekend's. And I know for sure my team is playing in one next week.
Well, this year we got kind of the opportunity to try this out during the season a little bit more, thanks to a couple of teams kind of stepping aside in the league and kind of opening up a couple of spots on the schedule. However, I anticipate next season, since I anticipate some big things next season, I anticipate that we're going to have pretty much everybody wanting to play down to the last breath, because they're going to know that there's a lot on the line. So
this season, unfortunately, we had to have a couple teams drop out for varying reasons. Actually, I think it was kind of like the same reasons. I think people were just like having roster issues, or their teams needed to step out for the rest of the season. So we kind of needed something to do for the teams who were left with bye weeks, and it seemed like a more fun idea to let them play exhibition matches together. And then Vader does the Playstream stuff, and he kind of suggested, oh, well, why don't we utilize that to kind of like benefit everyone? Like, we could just do exhibition matches, which would be really fun. But they're just kind of like no stake matches, so why don't we spice it up a little,
Right. And I mean, honestly, I feel like we've gotten a pretty good result across the board from them. I know a lot of people have mentioned that they've been enjoying kind of seeing, because it allows us to see things that we don't typically see, because I would say as far as like when you look at comp DBD, Vigo's league, Vigo's court already brings things that's a little bit different with it, like it being more the league style versus like a month-long tournament or even like a weekend tournament, right? We restrict the 2-player uses per season. Every team's got like the home field, so you see some maps that you don't typically see in comp. But this is something to allow us to see even like more uniqueness in the comp scene, which is really cool.
Yeah, this really opens up the opportunity to, like, again, if you want to see comp players, I think you can recommend builds. I think you can ask for certain builds to be run or something. So if you want to see comp players play like this, it's like a playground, like you can give them the toys and see what they do with it.
Yeah.
And again, we all like to bully our friends.
Yeah, you want to do a team of no mithers against an Oni that can instantly get their power. Or, I don't know, a team of no mithers and then put an Oni with the whatchamacallit glove, where you get the auras.
Oh, Renjiros?
Yeah.
I think, God, look, don't ask me anything for the future. I had this problem yesterday. Don't ask me anything about add-ons because I know very little, but I actually do play Oni, and I think that's Renjiros.
Accepted.
All right, and I do see we've got one for the people coming across here. We've got a Legion request. Yeah, love. to see it. I can see the shock on Shep's face. I hope y'all can see the shock on Shep's face. I love it.
Oh no, it's because I put down a 4K challenge.
Oh. Yeah, it's okay. And here's with the way that it's set up, right? Is if it doesn't get they don't get the 4K this round, you get refunded back, and you can slap down another challenge the next round, right? Are you okay over there?
I'm trying not to just die laughing.
However, I'm not gonna lie. If I wanted to have a sense of humor here, do you know what I would do after seeing the Legion come up?
No. What would you do?
I think I would make all the survivors run no mither here.
Oh shit.
Oh, are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to make sure that was to my thought, not like something else going on in the background.
No,
All of a sudden, like
no,
something was
it's
on
your
fire,
thought.
and I was like, "Oh shit!" Or I
No,
think
I
you can
just-
also I mean, you talked about you could do builds. I would imagine you can also do add-ons, correct? That probably goes with the builds.
Yes. Yeah, I think so. I have to look at our cards. Let me check though.
Also, while we allow a little bit more time, if anybody else wants to throw in some more challenges here, it does look like we're going to get ourselves a Legion round. We're going to have a 4K challenge on the board. Don't forget, you can also pick the map if you want to.
I feel like I should put up like. I feel so bad. You actually, we do have a specialized the killer contract, so you can ask for like, you know, those meme builds that everyone in the community kind of knows about, you know, like Burger King Myers,
Yeah.
backpack demo, those kinds of things. You can ask for that. You can select the killer and the build. You can make people run Survivor Adepts. You can dictate the build for
You can do no
killer in
perks.
general. You can do no perks. You can do. I think we had a no perks game in the We Overslept game.
Did we?
I think they made We Overslept run no perks. I don't remember. I talked about it. I remember. I really wanted somebody to do that.
Also, can I'm gonna need some help from my peoples, okay? My boy Pinhead got his voice lines back. So if we're gonna be putting in some challenges today, you know, I wouldn't mind hearing the new voice lines, is all I'm saying.
I do like the new voice lines. They are so juicy. They're so juicy.
I also liked that, like, not only did we finally get the one back that everybody was waiting for, but now we got like a couple more on top of that, right? And it's from the original actor. I feel like we got like a nice like set of redemption after the here's a cool like addition to a cool character, you know what I mean? Then they took it away.
Yeah, I know everyone was really, really disappointed that we didn't get the voice lines as they were originally like put in.
So I have a theory about that. And because, you know, I know at first, like, there were some people who thought that it was because of the meme that had come of the voice line itself. But obviously, what map is that? We've got a map of choice coming across here as well. I can't read that.
Hold on, let me see. I got it. It is map of your choice. So they can.
Did they not pick a map?
No, Cash didn't pick a map.
Shaq or Cash?
It says Cash. I don't know
Cash.
if it's Cash.
We need you to pick a map, my friend.
Please.
Please.
Yeah, you get to pick the map.
Or are you saying that it's a dealer's choice and we get to pick the map?
No, it says oh wait. It says come game. Does that mean the game?
Oh, the game, huh?
Legion on the game?
I feel like if you're gonna do Legion on the game, you do iridescent button to get rid of all of your pallets easier, right? Like I feel like that has
You
to be
know,
the
yeah.
strategy.
Yeah, I think so. Also, that's just like a ton of information. Actually, so as someone who like plays Legion, I actually enjoy the bigger maps.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a really fun time on Larry's with Legion, but that's because I like vaulting through windows, and I still have 4K.
But
But I'm
anyways, now
also
that we
like
oh go ahead,
Ash.
sorry.
So
Now that
no,
we've
you're good.
got the challenge figured out there, and we're letting them set that up in the back. The one thing I was gonna say as far as because we had the voice lines removed. One, my first initial thought was I thought it was gonna be something like with the Legion, how like different characters have like different voice lines, right? Because I was wondering if maybe they just didn't want like the Chatterer specifically to speak, because in the movies the Chatterer just chats, right? Like it just does the
Yeah, he
chattering,
just
like he
kind of
doesn't he doesn't make
creepy
any
voice
noise. So I thought maybe that was it, but now I think after seeing it reintroduced and it's actually the character, um it makes me think that the original license was that it was supposed to be him and they weren't happy that they used a placeholder, is my thought.
That would make a lot of sense, honestly. That's really the only reason. Like, someone's like, "Oh, it's because we made too many memes." Like, I don't.
Look, if
They
there's
said from the jump that the voice lines weren't going to stay. That the voice lines we heard in the PTB were not permanent. So
right. Well, that and it's
I
like
think you're right. I think they were just a placeholder until they could get him in to do the voice lines.
and it's like one of those things though, right? It's like if you're gonna think that any
Oh, you know
um
you're muted.
oh, I didn't realize I was muted actually. Thank you. I was only muted to you though. They heard
Oh,
everything.
okay.
I did.
Sorry, I just saw your mouth moving. I was like, oh
No,
no.
you're good. But chat heard everything. That's all that's important. No, but I was gonna say, if there's anyone that like wouldn't be upset about like the memes, it would be a horror like cult film that's like loosely like kind of around BDSM, like you know what I mean? Like I don't think
Yeah,
they're
where
worried
the
about
theme is
sexual like innuendos, you know what I mean? Like
yeah, I was kind of like, y'all, like the whole theme. If you did not want people to make those jokes, you picked the wrong property.
Yeah,
Like
for
the
real.
wrong one.
That was why when I had first heard, I was like, I mean, it's funny, but I don't think I can get on board with that. You know?
It's a funny thought, but I don't think it's serious. I don't think it's serious like that. But yeah, I think we're good to go. I think we've got a couple of fun challenges for our players here, and I'm really excited to go to the game of all places. I don't like this map, but I do like watching people play on it.
I also gotta say, you know, we already kind of knew that our homie Kashak was a player of class, but to see the Felix skin, just cherry on top. You love to see it.
I'm not gonna say anything.
With the PJ top, you love to see it.
Not me simping on main anyway.
All right, but
That's gonna be online for forever.
yeah, I mean, you know, it is what it is, right? And so this is gonna be fun. We're going to the game. We're on a killer that can kind of play around, I would say, some of the benefits that you normally have on the game. So I'm be interested to see how things go. We've got 4 bloodied blueprints. We've got a cut coin. Deadheads here are going to be on the survivor side, looking to build their lead, or to try to come back here. So let's go ahead and talk about how they put some points on the survivor side.
Let's talk about it, you guys. All right, so how do you gain points? Since we're still going by Vigo's rulings, those generators, they're pretty important. You know, you want to get those generators done, but not only do you want to get those generators done so that you can get so that you can get the points for them, you want to get them done so you can get the hell out of the game, because that is where you make your most points. The first escape is worth 1 point, and the second escape is worth 2 points, but the third escape is 4 points, and the fourth escape is 6 whole points. That is a lot of escapes. Also, if you can escape with 2 or more hook states remaining, so you only get hooked once or not at all, you get an additional point for each survivor who can escape. So you can make that escape worth 7 points for your 4th person. There are 26 points available for our survivors to earn here. If you want more on those rules, you can chat !rules in the chat, because I know sometimes people say things to me and I don't understand it, so I have to read it for myself. So if you are like that, there is a place for you.
All right, does look like we're looking at a little bit of a longer loading time, so we need just an extra moment or two before we do
DVD's like,
move on here. We're just gonna kind of hey, there
oh, I was gonna
we
say
go.
DVD's like, you're going to the game?
Yeah,
Excuse
you
me?
chose this? What do you mean?
Why would you do this?
All right, but let's go ahead and take another trip back in to the fog here. We are going to have the Lonely Moth, and it's time to play the game. We kind of talked about it. Probably going to be seeing that iridescent button, and we do see that coming out here rather quickly. We get the hit onto the thing. We see some information around as far as with our Feral Frenzy, but we can see that it's kind of off in the distance, and we do see that these pallets right here, these Gallon pallets are trapped here because of that blood favor. However, the Undying that was up to protect that is just now been broken.
Our first firecracker. Oof. Oh gosh, there goes the down too. We will see Dre's Disciple going down dangerously close to the basement. I think the Lonely Moth saw the 4K challenge and was like, all right, bet. Easy.
Yeah, put him on the back hook too, he says. Throws him up there. Now, keep in mind, we do see, though, both of those, God pallets that are on the way towards the entrance of the basement are both still standing currently, which could possibly be of assistance. But we do see down there in that bottom left-hand corner, we do have that iridescent button. We thought that would be a good idea for an add-on here because, of course, you break those pallets as you vault them. But we also have the very common cold dirt add-on there too, which helps the fatigue duration. And man, we are making very, very good use of this blood favor right now.
Yeah, Moth taking no prisoners here. Doing a very good job of blood favor coming in kind of clutch, honestly, helping prevent those pallet drops, which helps you not get stunned out of your power. Just like having a good time here.
Yeah, I mean, you've gotten yourself a good start. Unfortunately, you weren't able to get like too much extra protection on that basement, so they were able to get the save out of there, but it is extra time, right? It's time that somebody wasn't on a gen. However, we are going to see the blood favor now getting cleansed across the way, which does make the Lonely Moth a 1 perk Anderson. It is a mystery perk here at this point in time, so going to be relying more so on just their map knowledge as well as their game sense to try and continue to collect up some points. We do hear that middle, like that bottom middle gen has a decent amount of progress on it, but it's not like absolutely going crazy just quite yet. Not surprised to see Lonely Moth just stick around this hook because you're pretty well given this stage for free, essentially.
Yeah, pretty much. I feel like this is such a large map that if you don't go for the save early, someone's probably gonna progress.
Yeah, we did have some footsteps behind us there. We had someone potentially moving in for a save, but I'm not sure if maybe we'll see them fall back completely. Now that we have the second stage force, yeah, we can actually see from the Feral Frenzy there, our survivors fully committed to gens over friends, and kind of surprised, honestly, to see Lonely Moth at this point. I'm going to see what they do. I was going to say, after they break out of this frenzy, I wouldn't be surprised to see them go and see if they can catch maybe Cade trying to go for the save, but instead going to be pushing Kashak off of this generator here, and I believe that would be another fresh hook for you, at least, so you're spreading pressure.
Yeah, and we do see that unhook coming across the map. But that cold dirt is doing work. We do have our Feral Frenzy back. I think that's for...
Yeah, and this time here now we'll
recharge.
see in the Frenzy too, you're going to see a lot of the auras, right? So you're actually going to be able to get a lot of information. You're not going to be able to, unfortunately, break this pallet with the iridescent button, which would have been some big value, but you're at least removing more resources.
Yeah, definitely getting some resources out of the way here. And I mean, again, like Legion kind of forces pallet drops a lot. So with that eerie button, a really good opportunity to go ahead and get respecting the pallet.
Yeah, and unfortunate too, because it did allow you time to get around to the other side. There should be another pallet on the backside of this room too. Oh, but the nice cutoff. Gonna be able to get the down here onto Louis Legend.
I was gonna say, that wasn't even Cashy we were originally chasing.
Yeah, but that was the one that we had found. We had came down over here and gotten the hit right by the pallet, though, I think, right? Because it was an injured survivor. It is unfortunate. Yeah.
I thought we saw Kashak over here.
It's unfortunate
Kashak.
too because that is your survivor that was on death hook. So now move down to a 3v1. So gonna be able to cut double down here. I mean, obviously we had seen this team when they were on the survivor side. They were able to get the 2 fresh out plus the additional survivor out as well. So building up with a relatively strong performance thus far. I mean, already 4 stages thus far. Maybe being able to get yourself a fresh hook in the end game too. Really locking down some additional stages.
Really trying to force that pallet drop there, but unfortunately Moth is going to have to eat that.
And you also can see here that, I mean, Moth has a pretty decent generator setup. I mean, you've got a 3-gen kind of in this corner. Obviously, it's within layers, and you can hear a couple of them have quite a bit of progress on them, including this one over here. I mean, this one's got a lot of progress. I mean, we even see Kashak was trying to do the full send with how close this thing was committed, and now going to be getting an additional hook state because of that here.
It's just a little unfortunate. Sometimes committing is just not worth it.
However, you are going to see you're taking this hooked survivor, I would say, kind of away from those gens, and now we see the 4th gen complete, and it wasn't that generator that we did just dry kick here. So we've got quite a bit of pressure onto our generators itself. Don't hear too much as far as on the generator in the bathroom there, but all of our gens are in the basement, so that's at least a little bit of a benefit here.
I was gonna say, I think they made this really easy for Moth by not finishing one of the gens downstairs. I mean, it's still a large area to have to traverse, but I feel like it's harder to keep track of everything if you have to go and use the stairs.
Yeah, now the only thing though is we saw that the Fang, he has to say, committed over here. However, no one's been able to touch that gen. Actually, I noticed there were still some sparks coming from it there, and I'm not sure if maybe this is a bait out of a potential decisive strike, since we did see Kashak go that way, and we know that they were just up recently on the hook here, but it is actually going to be another hook state.
These hooks are so far away. And we do see scratch marks, so that does mean that our Michaela is down here to get the other down survivor back on their feet. But that also means we kind of know where they all are.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you had at least the 2 over in the one area, and you can even see this generator that we had dry kicked earlier still has the sparks. So we do still have it regressing. We have now also found is that Disciple here moving over around the little figure 8. And now even has another stronger pallet over here that you can deal with. Of course, we do see the unhook coming in. We see the Lonely Moth actually decides to double back towards the basement, which is kind of the smart play. You've got obviously some hurt survivors down here, and this is where your 3 generators are as well, right?
Yeah, this is oof, not a great place to be, but Moth definitely gonna go for this tunnel out. And the more you see people going upstairs, the more you know someone's not working on a generator, because all of our generators are down here. So Moth could probably kind of just zone people out of the area. Oh, and baiting out the dead hard. A nice little head flick there.
Yeah, able to bait out the dead hard. Also now, with this pallet getting dropped, that now removes the last god pallet that kind of surrounds your basement here. So this should probably result in another down here relatively quickly, but we're seeing maybe some good map or some good game sense here from the Lonely Moth coming back, checking on this generator. We see actually Kashak retreating from that area. We do have a pallet over here. Yeah, gets done, stupid. Plus 10 wood to the face, and that should also allow Kashak to build some extra distance. Extra pressure now being felt on the Lonely Moth, because now all 3 survivors are back up on the playing field here. Everyone's off the ground, and now they're going to be attacking these gens. We know at least one's getting really close.
Yeah, one had a lot of progress on. I don't know though, it was kind of regressing for a while there. I know it was just a dry kick, but it was regressing a lot, and the survivors are of like, yeah, the survivors are trying to attack these while still injured. So
I mean, I understand the thought process, right? Like it's kind of like that old adage of don't give them extra benefit of their power by giving them, wasting the time of the heal if they're gonna hunt you down with the feral frenzy. But we've kind of seen Lonely Moth hasn't really been using the frenzy for getting the extra info as much as it has been to traverse the map when they've been using to use it, right?
Yeah, it's kind of been more using it for speed. It's oh no!
And now
And
we
trying
are
to
going to
force those
find
men states
multiple
to make
survivors.
healing.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is
finding
tough.
multiple survivors. They're all here, and we might be able to get if we can get Cash here, we might be able to get Kashak out of the game.
Yeah, I mean, we aren't going to force the men status, but remember, we've already used both of the god palettes around here. We're only got a TNL to work at. I mean, gives you a little bit of information, but when you go running into walls,
No.
unfortunately, you're not going to be able to build the distance that you're looking for. And that's going to be Kashak over here in the corner. Kashak now going to the basement. And this is important that it's going to the basement because we are still have 3 gens down here in the bottom floor. And one of the bottom floor hooks has already been used. So it's actually kind of nice to not have to consume another one.
Yeah, and we did see hooks are kind of sparse down here, so.
And I mean, I don't know. This is what I gotta say. This is what I love about these play stream games. We get to see some comp players on the game. We're gonna see the Legion and potentially seeing the Legion with a 4K. Say what?
I've seen crazier things, I think. I don't know. I never know really what to expect with like the play stream stuff. Uh-oh. Well.
I like the mind game there, doing the 360, seeing if you can bait possibly a stun to knock him out of the power. Instead, the Lonely Moth showing a lot of patience here. And of course, you force Cade into this mend. You get the information on where your other survivor, Dre, is. Dre, of course, does have a longer loop here that you can kind of work around. We are going to see Lonely Moth doing a good job of zoning the survivor into the freezer room, which must I say, love the way the freezer room looks as far as after they did the rework. And really, honestly, just the game rework in general made this map look really, really good. But just the detail has been amazing.
Yeah, I really love this map after the rework. Oh, and we do hear a survivor here. Just putting that men's status down again.
Yeah, now this pallet gets out of the way, and that pretty well makes the corner over by the bathroom a complete dead zone. Most of the basement in general has been removed of pallets, but especially that corner.
Moth going ahead and utilizing their power here. They're going to put down that mend status, which again, like you do have to chew through the mend before you can consider healing. And I don't know if that was an early cancel. I think it was, which is unfortunate because there was a pallet there. Oh no, and both of our survivors are here. Ooh, tragic.
There's the down on the one. We've got scratch marks on the other. We do have Lonely Moth closing the distance there as well. Of course, we are moving to the second floor, the top floor here. We do still have some pallets available over here. Of course, the other thing too that Kate is doing is giving Dre some time to be able to tuck themselves into a corner and hide, because of course bleed outs do result in no points being rewarded here. Also just kind of buying some additional time. You've got plenty of pallets all the way around. Really good use of the power here to be able to stop. And now at this point, looks like it is just going to be Cade just trying to bury themselves deep into this corner as far as possible.
And oh yeah, definitely. Uh-oh. Tragic. I wonder if this is like, I'm kind of almost expecting an unbreakable play here, which would, I don't know.
I mean,
otherwise, yeah, it's just like bleed out to start the points.
I mean, generally speaking, like the hatch does tend to spawn. I think it only spawns downstairs still after the rework, right?
Yeah, it still only spawns downstairs. Hatch spawn rules dictate that it kind of has to spawn in a place where if you drop down through the floor, you're not dropping down to anywhere else. Uh-oh. Well, unfortunately, Drake didn't get too far.
Except for on RCPD, lol.
Oh yeah, except for on RC. Well, so like, it can't be in a place where if you drop down to it, you could theoretically drop down into another area. So if you can spawn on a second floor, but that second floor doesn't technically have anywhere you can go underneath it, that's where it can spawn. Except for I think in the library. I think it can spawn in the library, right?
Yeah, and also on that little ledge that's like right above the sergeant's room, where you can drop towards the, what is that, the unicorn statue?
Can it spawn there too?
Yep. Yeah, on that little like, ledge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, I don't play RCPD much because I hate that map. So,
Oh, does your game have that weird Alt F4 bug whenever it happens to
yeah,
have a
yeah, exactly.
RCPD
That
offering?
really weird Alt F4 bug. I don't know. RPD is just such a terrible map that my game crashes every time. Every time I see the RPD offering, it's like my game knows and just does me the favor of disconnecting. It's
Yeah.
great, honestly.
Yeah, Raccoon Toes Department. I feel it. I feel it.
But we do see all of our challenges were finished. So not only did we see a Legion game on the game, but we did also get a 4K.
A
Moth coming out swinging for
4K in the
fences
game, though. That's
with
pretty crazy.
Legion.
Yeah. Hitting the trifecta. And so again, we do definitely very much appreciate all of the challenges coming across there. Of course, again, you know, the $5 challenges do go straight towards the prize pool that we are able to offer here at Vigo's Court. And again, you know, our biggest goal is to try and get to the point where we're offering the best payouts for our players. So
Yeah, again, you guys, this is all building towards the future. I mean, it's fun now too, and the teams now do get benefit from this. But this is also toward building towards our future as well. Because, you know, as you know, we are nearing the end of our season. Next week is our last week of regular season, and then we move into our playoffs and finals and stuff. So you want to kind of make sure, we're trying to make sure, I guess, what we want to make sure that we are setting ourselves up for an even bigger and better season next time around.
yeah, and speaking of that, like if we've got some people watching, like, you know what, I've got some friends that play for X team, and I would really love to see how they can do in Vigo's Courts. We are currently taking applications for season 2. We're trying to make sure that we've got a really dope lineup, and also I think what we're going to try and do moving
Season 3
forward.
lineup, actually.
Sorry, season 3 lineup. I'm sorry. Moving forward, but also the other thing to keep in mind is we're trying to almost have like a farm league too, correct? We're trying to have like our A league, and then also, 'cause I know there's a lot of interest in the comp scene, we're also going to be doing a second league as well, right?
Yes, I think we're planning on doing some fun Playstream tournaments. We're planning on having 2 leagues running next season. We have a lot of really cool plans in the works right now between our production team. So I'm really excited to see what the future holds. And again, this is kind of made possible through all of our Playstream stuff. So like, shout out to them. We really appreciate them for helping us make all of this possible, really.
Now, while we're kind of waiting, it looks like we have some players changing potentially over on our survivor side here. Of course, we're also going to give the people of Vigo's Court some time to figure out what challenges they want to throw the way of our competitors here. I believe we are also currently accepting like ideas for different challenges for Playstream, correct?
Yeah, if you guys have any interesting challenges that you want to see us put up in our Playstream matches, let us know. Reach out. We do have a suggestion box down below. We usually like to use that for interviews, but if you guys have any suggestions for Playstream challenges you would like to see, that's the place you can do it. You can go ahead and drop your suggestions there, and if they're reasonable being the keyword,
I mean, that's how we've added some of our challenges thus far. Have kind of been from you know, from the community. So
you guys have given us some really great suggestions. So please don't be afraid to go ahead and suggest like some stuff. If it's like feasible, then yeah, absolutely. Like, you know, we can't do anything too crazy. We don't want to make it really unfair, but you know, if it's fun and it's feasible, like, yeah, you know, we're open to we're open to suggestions.
now,
go ahead.
I was actually just going to ask, as far as with I don't even remember. I lost it. Don't mind me. It's been a long couple days.
Oh.
Getting over this sickness.
Also, If any of you are very fond of your casters, you can redeem a ghost face. Actually, I already got a Legion, so like
True.
I'm vibing. Like I'm already really happy.
I mean, not only did you get the Legion, but you got the Ghostface Mori on you with the selfie.
No, I didn't.
No, it wasn't you.
I
Was it somebody
didn't.
else?
No, that was somebody else.
Oh, rip.
Sag, I know. It's okay. It's okay. No, you know what I had to do? You know what I had to do?
What?
I had to play fucking no mither against a nurse.
Love it. Well, I mean, at least that's the good news is right now we won't be having to worry about any nurse play this week, right?
We cannot use nurse this week, unfortunately, because of a bug that came with the most recent update.
You mean because they fixed nurse, lol? I mean, it just tends to happen, right? I mean, it's we aren't gonna act like it's a specific DBD thing, right? You change things in coding, other things down the line tend to pop up. So hopefully it gets fixed soon, though, is what I'm hoping, especially because we're seeing it affect a couple of different killers. You know, we've got the one bug with the nurse. Apparently, demo dog can't shred. Pallets and broken doors from time to time.
Yeah.
I think somebody had mentioned something with the chainsaw boys too. I don't know if that's a similar issue with breakable walls and stuff, or.
So I don't know what it is for Billy. I don't know if it's the same issue, but I know for Bubba, there's no collision, so you don't tantrum in certain places. So you're just sliding on over with that chainsaw going, which I mean, that's like one of the ways that you can kind of like deal with Bubba.
Right.
We all know he's really annoying, but if you can get him to tantrum, you can buy yourself some time. I'm really trying. I really wanted to talk about one of these. Oh, there it is. Okay, guys. I also want to talk about another contract we have. We have one called Even or Odd. The killer must end on an even or odd number of hooks.
Oh, that's fun.
So,
and that
like
that counts progressions, correct?
Yeah, it just hook. Oh no, sorry. No, it does not. It actual hooks. It can't count. It can't count the progressions. It has to be actual like hook.
Okay.
States. So, like I said, you guys, you can suggest all sorts of shit. And also, if you want to go along with that one, you can also pick can't use that hook, where you cannot hook the same survivor on the same hook twice. So if all your survivors stay in the same place and you can't put them on that hook, they're probably going to wiggle off the shoulder.
That could be fun.
I think it's funny.
I mean, I still want to see the community come together and do a boil over breakout combo on RCPD and spread them hook,
Please.
Baby. Let's go.
Please. Pain. That's just pain. Like, that sounds not fun and painful. But do it. You guys should do it.
Well, let me get a Wraith with 4 beamers. You know what I'm saying?
God. Bully the Wraith. I mean, that means that you have to like use the flashlight and get the Wraith before he turns around and gets you. So,
true.
You know, some people are not good with flashlights.
But yeah, I can't help but think about a lot of the different memes. I mean, we've already gotten to see a lot of fun stuff. I mean, we already kind of talked about it, right? Like last week, we got to see the no mither with self-care, and things like that. So, and again, it's also it's a cool way for us to be able to continually like try and, you know, grow that prize pool here for our competitors too. So
yeah, again, this is just a really fun way to kind of benefit the community and give you guys a chance to get more involved. Honestly, we're without the teams and without you guys who support us, we really couldn't do anything. Like this is in part, we exist because of you guys. So this is our way of saying, hey, thank you. Let's have some fun with it too, you know? So this is our way of showing appreciation. Our way of showing appreciation is you get to bully your friends live on stream.
Is it possible to set up something where like they can't perform a certain action? Like make it to where like
we actually have a couple of those.
Like make it to where like a team can't heal throughout the course of the game, or, you know, the first thing that comes to mind is like I always like to think of the things where it's multiple people kind of like lining up a game, but like have someone play Trapper, but then also where the other team can't disarm traps.
It's funny. Yeah, so we actually don't have anything very specifically like that. We do have a challenge where it's the 4 heal challenge. I'm trying to find it. There are so many cards, you guys. Oh my gosh, where is it? So the 4 heal challenge is you can only heal 4 times in the entire game. I don't know if that's like the entire team can only heal that many times.
I would imagine so.
Yeah, so the entire team can only heal 4 times the entire game. So yeah, if you guys have suggestions like that, like that's another example of things that we could be putting down on our cards. Q, if you would like to suggest that, we could make that happen.
Be fun.
You know, I got you.
I like it. I like it. But otherwise here, it looks like this round might be a free play. Is that correct?
Yep, it does look like this one is going to be a free play today. Not today, this round. So we get to see Moth pull out what Moth wants to pull out.
All right, let's do it. I will, I guess I should go ahead and switch, right?
Yes.
All right. And you can see how much it changes when I like actually like click into the game. That's great. See. All right, cool. Yeah, I think as far as for me, I would really, I mean, it shouldn't be any surprise. But I would really like to see a Cenobite come out.
You know, I wouldn't.
I just want to hear him talk about how he came at least once tonight, you know?
So the only reason I'm bitter about Cenobite right now because I think like 2 or 3 days in a row at like practice I had to play against Cenobite and it was awful. It was the worst time of my life because the players who were playing them are good Cenobites and I just don't like Cenobite. I don't like playing against Cenobite. It's not fun.
Which is funny enough because actually our season of Ash to Iridescence started against the Cenobite after you had been talking about how much you hated.
Oh my god. You know what? I watched that and the first thing I see is me screaming because it's a Cenobite. Like I hear the box and you just see me throw my head back and scream. I was so mad.
So we see all of our offerings and everything. We generally have kind of rules and things here in Vigo's court. So let's talk about it, shall we?
So let's talk about our rules. So what's allowed, you guys? We are still following our Vigo's rules unless you guys ask us not to. So bans and builds, yellow items and add-ons are all you're allowed to bring or below. Only one of each item and perk unless you ask for something different except for BT. BT, you are always allowed to have two of those. We do have some banned perks. Build to last, prove thyself, and Starstruck are still not allowed. No Haunted Ground, no Lethal Pursuer, and still no Boons and Clairvoyance. Again, unless you ask for any of those. Killers used are limited to twice a season. That doesn't matter here, but in our normal season it does. Survivors are, I think we're still limiting those to 1 character per team. But we are going to cut our rules short there. If you guys want to hear more, please check out !mark rules in chat because we are in a game and I do see Victor doing Victor things.
Yeah, we are actually going to see the Lonely Moth coming out here with the twins on Cold Tower. And I must say, with the limited resources on this map and, you know, kind of the size of it, things could get spicy early here. Because if I'm not mistaken, Lonely Moth has a pretty solid twins.
Yeah, I think I've seen Lonely Moth play twins like once, and it was really fun. So, if I can remember it, it was probably a good time. I got a peanut brain.
We do see though here at this point, we do have 2 separate survivors that are injured. One being Queen Harley, who is currently down on the ground. We are going to also see that the generators that are currently being worked on across the map here are currently going to be worked on 15% slower thanks to that Thanatophobia. Plus, we also have some dying light value brought in on this trial here as well. So Lonely Moth, get done, stupid!
Oh, no!
Get him out of here!
Victor meeting an untimely what? Like they waited for Charlotte to come back.
Yeah, I think you were hoping to try and get the. I think you were hoping to try and get the stun to get the distance built because you see not much distance being made, but
yeah.
Nice jukes though.
Very nice jukes. I didn't know it was part of that. It just all of a sudden they were popping up, and I was like, "What?" Okay. Oh, gosh. Very, very nice footwork here. And yeah, those gens are going super slowly because of that thanatophobia. I mean, not super slowly, but like it's annoying. I hate thanatophobia, honestly.
Yeah, it's funny because
But
like Thana's like one of those perks where it's like it's a mind game too, right? Because sometimes even it's only just 5% slowdown, but it's just the fact that that like little icon is in the bottom right hand corner of your screen while you're working on a gen. You see the red bar, and even the 5% slowdown seems like so much sometimes.
yeah, 5% doesn't sound like a big number until you're the one having to try to fix a generator and there is a killer coming at you.
I do like this play though by Lonely Moth. Of course, the main building can be rather difficult to loop around. Oh, getting the
God.
lunge over the short side of the pallet here. Getting the down on Cade is going to go ahead and plant Victor relatively close to that generator over there. Get a little bit of that like beacon status, right? Kind of see if you got anybody moving in close. Because if I had to guess, Lonely Moth's going to try and put this hook as deep into this corner as possible. And then you can dry kick that generator. What are you doing, Nia? Run!
Apparently Harley is not worried about Moth being right there.
I'm wondering if this is maybe probably our balanced landing player here, trying to get a little bit of distance here. Also, though,
Looks like it.
we saw Lonely Moth did break out that back door, kind of making things a little bit easier here. Also worth noting that this generator that we had kicked over here at that 9 position is still regressing, even though we still see 2 generators popping.
Generator's going burr like real fast.
Now, we are at this
And
point like 10, 15 seconds away from a second stage, right?
I think so. Yeah, we're getting pretty close there. So you would expect that we're probably, I don't know, maybe someone's gonna come in for an unhook soon. Maybe. I don't know.
It's interesting though, because you know you've got some hang time, and we're now going to see the application onto Kashak here, and you can see that Lonely Moth still has at least the top 3 gens, I believe, still in place, and you can even kind of combine this generator here into almost kind of a 4 gen.
Yeah, this could be a pretty nasty setup if the survivors aren't careful. Poor I think that's Cade over there on the hook.
Cade has had a lot of fun
vibing.
this game, just
Just
chilling,
vibing.
just hanging out.
Hanging out. You know, hanging out, you.
And now also you're gonna get a little bit of extra information there, right? Because of course you can still see little homie Victor was on the back of Kashak there for a second. Also got that instinct there to let you know there are 2 survivors kind of in the middle-ish area. But I believe this will just be Cade being sacrificed, forced into the elimination stage. It looked like they tried to attack this generator over here. We do see them kind of going for more of that locker style play, which we see quite often because, you know, they'll make Victor grab the locker, then generally have a second survivor rotate over and sit in front of it so you can't get the direct locker pull and kind of take the extra time. But instead, we're going to see Cookie taking the application and probably just going to kind of hang out with that little man for a little bit.
Yeah, kind of like take him for a little ride, and let's all press F in chat for Cade too. Like that's unfortunate.
Yeah, that was pretty tough for sure. And is this? Oh, now we've also found another survivor over here. This is now going to be Kashak, the Felix. Interesting. I would imagine that we are probably going to be seeing our survivors. Oh, I was going to say probably attack this generator over here before getting the one farthest away. But of course, we do often see in the competitive scene that, you know, especially against the twins, you don't mind so much playing into those like 3 and 4 gen setups because it also gives you a good portion of the map to be able to retreat to for the resets, right?
Yes, absolutely. It's always nice to have a safe zone where you can kind of go and just like reset without being in the middle of all of your objectives. That was just like a really tragic down. Harley was there. Harley was there for the block, and it just ripped.
Now, we haven't seen this gen pop just quite yet, but we can hear not only the fourth piston moving, but has quite a bit of progress. Probably less than, I would say, eight seconds or so until that thing's done, if someone can get onto it here. And even though we'll see Lonely Moth probably come over and dry kick this thing. Oh, I was lying. Actually, the fourth piston hasn't really started pumping, so about 20 seconds left on that thing. But now it will start regressing at least a little bit with the dry kick. But you've got some information, right? You've got scratch marks over on this side of the map. You've also got your little homie on the back of Harley in case they decide to move in for the save. So Lonely Moth can kind of just vibe right now.
Yeah, a lot of really good pressure, and you kind of see Victor like off in the distance in a corner. Uh-oh.
But this is tough because, of course, you know, at this point, oh, now we are going to see Victor coming out here. We are going to see a second stage force, unfortunately, here as well. So the save comes in pretty much right after that, too. So this is tough.
Really unfortunate. That's a lot of pressure.
Like, what do you do here? Do you try and take the aggro? Or because at that point, you've kind of accelerated the tunnel out, right?
Yeah, I think Cookie's best bet is for somebody else to take the aggro for him, or else he is just dead.
Now, we can hear there's quite a bit of progress on this top mid-gen as far as in the tower itself. And we're going to see Lonely Moth actually is going to set up Charlotte on the bottom floor here. Was trying to see if maybe they can force a survivor down and out. I'm actually kind of surprised that he didn't try and block a window there, if we're being perfectly honest. But, oh, we've actually spread pressure pretty well throughout. And we found Queen Harley. That generator also has the fourth piston starting to move on it. So they spread pressure, but I don't know if they're going to get any more gens done. We do see a full reset coming in, though, as far as to Kashak as well as Cookie. So maybe that buys them some time. And maybe if Harley also has your Unbreakable. Oh, I was going to say, unless Lonely Moth runs right over here. Oh, we already used that earlier, didn't we?
We already used that earlier, yeah. So that's already off the table. And Moth going ahead and doing a little bit of babysitting with Charlotte over there to try to get some information with Victor.
Yeah, now at this point, I was going to say, yeah, wouldn't be surprised to just go ahead and see the removal of Victor there. They do finish the gen or just in time before another kick comes in there. So that definitely shows why Harley was committing the way they did to that gen. I mean, that thing was just about ready to go. And now things are interesting because we do know that that generator that's at about 9, you know, at one point was sitting at about 75%. So I'm curious how close it is at this point.
I'm very interested to see too, and nice attempt at body blocking, but I think that's Kashak not quite being able to get in there in between Victor and Harley.
Yeah, I mean, now we're just seeing Lonely Moth kind of continues doing what the twins do best, really, right? Like, you kind of operate. I mean, I feel like the twins honestly work best once you've got multiple entry states, especially once you can get somebody on the ground. Now you've got Harley slubbed, you got Cookie with Victor on the back. I mean, Lonely Moth just really in control. I always love watching some good twins play. I know sometimes it's more of like the deliberate, methodical gameplay than versus like we like to watch kind of like the high action of, say, like the Billies, the Blights, and the Nurses. But it's just a different skill set that's really fun to watch, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think, I think twins can still be a high octane, but it takes two to tango, and it really depends on how the survivors play it in response. I think, if you can be really quick, I've seen some really fun twin games where like everyone kind of just buddies up and is really quick on the resets, and like you see some really like incredible protection hits. So it really just depends on how both sides want to play it. But I have seen some really fun twins gameplay before, so I don't think I really agree with when people say twins is fun. Ooh.
Oh, yeah, against Dunstrope, gonna be some extra distance you can build here. As we see Cookie removing Victor, which is kind of unfortunate time. I've also been a recall, actually. I didn't even think about that, but especially because we see that the Felix here is kind of working their way towards the unhook, and instead actually just going to continue circling around main building, which might force our last survivor to need to come in and help with the save.
Unless Victor goes after the already injured Cookie, who we also know, oh no, is on death hook, able to catch just the edge of that hitbox before Cookie can get into that locker. And now we're going to come back and see if Kashak came to try and get Harley off the hook, and it doesn't look like it.
Yeah, get behaviored, big boy. I'm sure that looked really good on your end, friend, but they did indeed clip you just before jumping into the locker. Big feels bad. Now the application took a shock here as well, which of course means you get the information of where they are while they've got Victor on their back. So this might be a 4K before all the jets pop.
That's absolutely tragic. That generator had so much progress on it, and I think that's like what the second time we've seen that. Cookie giving us a little dance. We've seen that generator have so much done on it. Uh-oh. Well, that might just get popped in the face. Nope. I was like, again, they're gonna do it again. Oh no, and that is an elimination, so that leaves Kishak the only survivor left. A swing and a miss at the window, though.
Yeah, but that does mean we are going to be seeing the second and third elimination here, which means now we can kind of see a potential 50-50 for a hatch. But of course, Victor, very fast, he misses the lunge. We're not
Cash
going to
juking.
see Cash, though. We're not going to see them going for the crush. And I don't hear a hatch, so I think...
Ooh, nice fake out at the window. Cash just juking. I mean, even if he doesn't get hatched, he's putting on a good show.
Yeah, I mean, definitely still, you know, getting some
Aw.
nice highlights there for the next montage, my friend. Yeah, definitely seeing some good loops. But honestly, really solid performance all the way around from Lonely Moth here on the killer side. Also interesting because
Absolutely.
I know they can't see the build because of the perk blocker, but did we ever get any forced penance value?
I think we didn't at all. Like, I don't think we saw force penance actually come into play.
So really kind of doing that with just the 3 perks is honestly kind of impressive.
Yeah, honestly. Very, very impressive. Didn't really need to utilize that forced penance there.
And I think it's funny, whenever I think about the twins, I think for me, I think a lot of the progression of twins that at least that I have kind of seen through comp. Like, I know that, like, I'm newer to comp, like, I haven't been around through the years by any stretch of the means. But, like, I remember when you look back, like, 6-7 months ago, twins were, I think, known for their potential, but, like, they weren't played as much. Whereas now I feel like most teams have kind of come to realize that if you want to be somebody that can, like, really compete, like, twins has to be in the arsenal.
Yeah. I think that's like general consensus pretty much. Like, twins kind of is just an inevitability that you kind of need to have in your pocket because and because of the way that comp works, I think like normally twins isn't considered as strong, maybe like they're considered maybe more annoying than anything, but like because of the way comp works, twins is actually a lot stronger here. If
Well,
that made any sense. My brain feels
Well, and the other thing too is, especially when you look at, I think, just the state of the game itself outside of comp, killers like the twins, killers like the Wraith, killers that depend, the Legion, even killers that usually were like big, like hit and run style killers. With the boon meta right now, they're kind of harder to be viable with, right?
Yeah, definitely the boon meta, and that's what I mean by in comp. Like, we don't allow boons in comp, so you don't have that meta allowed here. So those hit and run style killers are viable again because there's the one counter that exists is not available. Well, not even a counter, like the one thing that just shuts it down completely.
Now, while we're waiting to load in for as far as our 4th trial, as our survivors kind of start setting up the lobby, or as our teams kind of start setting up the lobby and everything here, I know obviously we aren't going to see her through the rest of the season, but for season 3, I would anticipate seeing the artist being added to the killer pool. So I wanted to get your opinion as far as comp goes, where do you think she kind of lands right now as far as the tier list?
Okay, so for the artist,
Contract accepted.
you know, I think tier list wise, I think she has a lot of good information. I definitely just got my ass kicked by Jazzy in a COTF match with artists, so that was fun. Uh, she can put down a lot of pressure. She can get a lot of information. She's got a really good like anti-looping kit, but it's also just like a really good utility kit. Um, as far as tier list goes, I'm really bad at tier list. Maybe like mid A tier,
So do you think she's so obviously not S
maybe
tier?
low A.
Do you
Nah,
feel
not S
that
tier.
she is in the like close to that Twins where I feel like Twins is very solidified, like top 3 after the first or first 3 after the top 3. Like everyone
Yes.
kind of agrees that Twins is whether it's 4 to 6 somewhere in that range. Do you
Yeah.
think that artists we'll see artists kind of wind up in that range, or do you think we'll see her just below that, more like 7 through 9?
I think we'll see her just below that. Honestly, I'm kind of feeling like low A tier.
Yeah.
Um, Again, it's a lot of pressure, but I feel like once teams learn how to play against her, it's not going to matter as much, if that makes sense. I think she's got a lot of utility to her kit, and I think she's got a really like interesting kit, and that you can do a lot with it in comp, especially where like you have a lot of restrictions towards the survivors and what they can run. But again, I don't think, yeah, I don't know. I don't think she'll be too hard for like top tier teams to handle.
Yeah, I think the big thing will be, well, I think it's going to be 2 things. One, I'm going to be interested. Sorry, I realize I don't have, if we're going to have the artist up, I might as well at least put her in the cool cosmetics from the event. I think what's going to be interested, especially when it comes to seeing the artist across the board, is seeing what kind of balance we see put on the artist. What add-ons do we see, especially outside of Vigo's? What map does she end up getting played on? Because we see a lot of other like tournaments and things, they've put a killer on a specific map. I would imagine that she's going to be one of those killers, kind of like the nurse, that they'll we'll probably be seeing people be allowed to bring a flashlight in to be able to kind of trail your chase and kind of mess with the birds, kind of the same way you do preventing the nurse from blinking. But the other side of that I can't help but wonder is, since I feel like the counterplay to artists is more of just the pre-leaving, shift W, don't loop, right?
Yeah.
Would you be better off instead just having your 3 people attacking the gens instead of only 2 people attacking the gens and 1 person kind of rolling around? But I see a contract coming through. We're getting some pinhead. Let's go.
Oh no, and you know what we also have up on contracts? We also have a Mori
Oh, I saw.
on the table.
Yeah.
So not only do we get to see some pinhead action, we get to see probably one of the cooler Moris in the game.
I'm actually so excited. I'm gonna let them know that they're in the chat itself. Super pumped. I one of the things that I always love to see too about Pinhead when Pinhead comes out, I want to know what your Pinhead looks like. You know what I mean? Do you have just the, I only got the regular Pinhead because, I don't want to spend any money on Pinhead. I didn't want to get any of the cool cosmetics. Or are you like full send? I want the best. I need the 1500 Oryx Cell Chatterer. You know what I mean? I think it's just always fun to see.
Honestly, I think Pinhead is one of the ones where like the OG skin, the like base Pinhead is also just real juicy.
True though.
I actually think my favorite Pinhead skin is the red rose.
Yes,
but I'm
100%.
also like a cheap bastard, so I
No,
would buy
honestly
that.
though, I mean, what do you think my guy's rocking over here? You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
Might as well
Very,
switch
I like
over
the
to him.
outfit because I like the outfits because they're so intricate.
Yes.
I really like the outfits because they're so intricate. I think that's my favorite part about them. Like, no matter what Pinhead skin you get, there's a lot of just like detail and like little bits and a lot of like, like I don't know, just like a lot of stuff going on. That's
So,
why I like them.
if you could pick the map that you would see Pinhead played on, and we potentially be seeing a Pinhead Moria, what map would you want to see?
I feel like seeing a Pinhead Mori in the like boiler room of Batum
Yeah.
would be really cool.
Ugh.
I was gonna say my first instinct is to go Dead Dog because that's my favorite map. But I think just that setting would be so cool.
True. I mean, I like I've always been a Dead Dog fan. The Deadest of Dogs is probably my favorite map
Dog.
aesthetically. But also I really like what Dead Dog brings to a lot of your like kind of more M1 killers like Pinhead. Because it's a little smaller of a map, you can put a little bit more pressure on the teams, but the teams still have some like utility to work with. You've got some stronger towns. You've still got the main building. You've got a couple of those broken down buildings across from the saloon that, if you know how to work them, can be pretty strong. So, I really like the map play, honestly.
I do too. I'm just excited to see what happens here.
Of course, this is going to be our fourth and final game as far as for this matchup here. We appreciate everyone rocking with us. We know that these matchups tend to take a little bit longer than our normal Vigo's Court games. You know, we try and give the teams more time to set up, get some more challenges in. You know, of course, keeping in mind that the challenges do kind of help us increase our prize pool that we're able to offer here at Vigo's Court, as well as some of those challenges also go towards the teams themselves, so you can kind of help give a little bit of extra, you can give a little extra cake to your homies, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
But
We
I
are
see
just
we've got
now-
everyone ready, so should we go ahead, or do we want to?
We're getting confirmation right now, but I think we'll be okay. Honestly.
Okay. I didn't want to, you know, I figured since it's the last one, I didn't want to jump ahead before we had any last second challenges come across. But I mean, we got Cenobite. We got the crowd favorite of the Legion earlier. We got the caster's favorite with the Cenobite. I mean, you know, what more can you really ask for, right?
Taking really good care of us. Definitely. And again, you guys, we do have another Playstream match coming up this week. I said it was on Saturday. It's actually going to be tomorrow.
The
so
9
that'll be
o'clock game,
interesting.
right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I think so. And then again, we will have another one, at least another one next week as well. It's gonna be really fun.
Yeah, so our 6 o'clock game tomorrow will be our normal game, and then our 9 o'clock is another Playstream exhibition, and then I think we've got a full 4 games on Saturday. Is that correct?
I believe we do. Yep, we are looking at a full schedule for Saturday. So Saturday is usually always our big day. A lot of good games that day. I'm frozen.
You're.
Oh, there we go.
I'm frozen. You're frozen.
It's
We're
cold in my
all
house, too. I'm a little
frozen.
cold.
Things actually like started kicking down even more up our way too. We finally like started I should say consistently hitting like single digits. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I'm grateful to live on a tropical island.
Yeah.
But it does actually, no, it's actually cold here too. But everyone is ready.
All right, cool.
Before I get too sidetracked on how cold it is here, I'm like a little lizard lady. My friends call me a little lizard lady because if it's like not 70 degrees, I'm freezing or overheating. Like I need a sun lamp. Like I need to like lay on a rock in the sun for a little while.
Start getting all the
So I couldn't-
tattoos and everything like the lizard guy.
Yeah, no, I probably won't do that. But you look cool.
We do see
But-
though we've got all 4 bloody blueprints here. We've also got the Mori no cut coin because we have the challenge this time. So we talked last time loading in. We've got some rules and things. Believe it or not, rules are not meant to be broken. So let's talk about what happens when they do.
Let's talk about it, you guys. All right, so please don't break our rules. Matches with penalties, they can be played out if the offense is great or is not that great. They can be restarted, or we can do both depending on when the penalty is caught. If you catch it at the end of the game, you know you have the choice to replay it. 2 of the same survivor, a ban perk, item, or add-on. It's negative 5 points. You can restart that if it really does negatively impact the game, or if the team wants to restart it, you know. The wrong map, however, negative 5 points and an auto restart. Also, if you harass the ref, please don't do that. Bring players out on the roster, please don't do that. Technical fouls, negative 10 per offense, and no restart. I'm gonna cut myself off there anyways. If you want to know more about those penalties, you can check !rules in chat. But we do have a game, so let's see if they can make Pinhead come.
Let's get down to it. Let's take another trip back into the fog. And we talked about it. We see Kashak out here with the pinhead. Is going to miss the first shot there with the M1. One thing that I've been really enjoying watching as we have gotten to see more and more comp Cenobite come out. Ooh, plus 10 wood in the face can allow some distance to be built here. It's fun watching kind of the strategy of the box because we do see Ultra here. Oh, hold on. Yeah, buddy, we got the fucking voice lines. Let's go. Sorry, I had to let that just, you know,
No,
go in full.
all things stop for Doug.
But yeah, it's been funny I should say funny, but it's been fun watching as teams kind of adapt to his playstyle, not just on the killer side, but also the survivor side.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of really interesting tactics for dealing with Pinhead and the chain hunt and the box. Some people like to hold on to it. Some people like to just grab it and solve it immediately. And then again, you have killers who they can either build their strategy around responding to the box when it's being worked on, or using the box, like just how they use the box interactions. It varies greatly between killers.
And you know, of course, oh, plus 10 wood to the face. Kashak might have been just a wee bit outside of that pallet space, but still getting stunned regardless. And here at this point, you will notice after the completion of that first gen, we do have another generator that has gotten covered up here. That is going to be that deadlock coming into play. Also, you'll notice that there's an outline of a toolbox on the ground here. That is because Kashak here is running that Franklin's that we do often see in the public scene, I would say, for Cenobite, but actually kind of surprising to see that perk used in the comp scene, honestly.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. 'Cause I don't think, but I mean, I guess it would work here. I don't think you'd normally see that, like you said, but I think it works for Pinhead.
Now, I mean, you do get the benefit of the map that you're on currently. It's Cold Tower, so it's a smaller map. But like even here, right? Like you're not moving towards the box, and that's kind of like the big thing that your goal with running the Franklin's, especially as we do see it here, combined with the hoarders to kind of give you the little bit of a earlier indication when they grab the box. But otherwise, if you're not using those two perks, then at this point you're really kind of a one perk killer, right?
Yeah, I mean, and like there's a lot of great information that comes from Franklin's and hoarders in general. You can see where survivors are if they're trying to preserve their items, but you really want to, I feel like, use that to prioritize box interactions. You know that the survivor who picks up the box is definitely going to be oblivious, so you can kind of use that knowledge to sneak up on them, or to even get the box into your own control and force a chain hunt.
Yeah, I just feel like the other thing too, like when you look at the add-on combo, or sorry, when you look at the perk combo, the Hoarders Franklins, like your goal is, like you said, to try and force the chain hunts, right? But when you look at the add-ons, we've got Frank's Heart, which is just increasing like the gateway casting, like for an additional 8 meters. And then you've got the Skewered Rat, which just reduces the amount of the cooldown basically on your M2 power itself. Whereas I feel like if you're trying to get true, like use out of your combo of Franklins and Hoarders, that's usually where you'd see like the increased solve time add-ons, right?
Yeah, I think this is just an example of trying to utilize all of the things that Pinhead can do instead of focusing in one area. Which is like not inherently a bad thing.
Ooh.
Crying around here. Oh no! And we will get the double down. That is unfortunate.
Yeah, not like this.
No tears.
No.
No tears.
Oh, I thought the Yui was staying around this loop too. I was like, yo, you're hurt. You need to get out. Or we already got 2 people on the ground right now. We've got Shiro here. I believe this is Shiro. Yeah, going up onto a hook. It's gonna be hook number 1 for Shiro here, and using the chain. I think with the chain was just kind of more for like information to see if anybody was around here. We obviously don't hear Yui. Oh, do we hear Yui?
See someone. I don't know if that was Yui. I didn't quite catch who that was, but we do see the pickup And
Oh, it
it
is.
was actually Yui here
I
trying
like
to bait out that Dead Hunter.
this.
Think about head. This is tragic. Yeah.
And this is tough because now you've got the extra down here. You've got an injured survivor off in the distance. Here you're gonna see a little bit as far as that.
God.
I mean, so there we got a little bit of extra benefit from like our add-on combo, right? Because we're able to get a little bit farther distance plus like the cooldown on the chains itself. Oh, that's not gonna be good. But it's not gonna be enough here. Now here at this point, you know, again, kind of referring back to the Hoarders Franklin combo. You got the notification that they're getting the box, but you weren't really able to get full value, right?
Yeah, definitely. Uh-oh. Oh, God.
Able to get the save. Now the question is that your survivor that has the borrowed time? Nice M2 here. We do see, of course, going to be trying to stretch away. Not going to be able to get there. This is tough
No.
because Shiro was just up on the hook. The question is, do you have the decisive strike? Oh, slaps him with the D. Now we've got everybody off of the ground. Everybody's back into play. Only two hook states thus far. Two. The survivors have going to be able to maybe possibly turn things around here as long as they can get a reset and kind of take control of this middle portion of the game.
I just wanted to see the Mori.
True though. I mean, we still might. Oh,
Yeah.
honestly though,
Oh
really
my
good
God.
shots with the M2
Yeah.
there.
I really want to commend Kashak's skill with the portals.
I mean, we've definitely, and I'm wondering if maybe that's just, I mean, part of the reason why we did see the add-ons that he did go with here, because both the add-ons are revolving around his M2 power here, right? One, not only the distance that you can get the further distance on your portal, but also how often you can get it here as well. Also going to be able to get the hit onto Clay before they're going to be able to make it to the window. Also going to be a down back here, back by the basement. Now here's where I would like to
Waste
ask
of good
Kashak.
suffering.
Yes. He is
No, I love this.
my favorite killer by far since they added the new voice lines in here. But now it's going to be another fresh hook here. And this is going to be in the middle of your map, so you can kind of check on some of these generators, especially considering that we have one back here that's got a lot of progress.
It's definitely a good chance to kind of check out what's going on, and we do see, oh no, not like this. Shiro, is on Death Hook, I think, and we see a Deliverance play. Whoa.
Really nice Deliverance. We're also going to see generator number 5 getting complete there, which, you know, at least now lets us move into the end game portion of the trial. We do see one gate is right over here, able to get the nice M2 onto Clay here. I mean, really just going nuts.
These are such nice M2s. I am really impressed with Kashak's use of the chains here.
Now you see across the way though, the door's just about ready. We got one more pallet space to work around here, but oh, that's gonna be all for getting out. You got the swing and the miss, and you've got people here. The question is, do you have anybody? Why are you moving for the body block?
Oh no.
Really nice teamwork there at the end to be able to secure
Really
the out.
nice teamwork there, yes. Sag, I didn't get my Mori, but that's okay.
I didn't get to do my
That was
Mori
still good.
song.
That was still good.
That was a
Okay,
really
so
good round.
We got Pinhead redeemed.
All right. Even though we might not have gotten to see the best Mori in the game, hands down, we still got to see the best killer with the best voice lines, hand down. We got to see the Cenobite come out. Had some fun there. Yeah, you know, I think what's interesting when you look at it is I feel like again, I understand the idea behind the Hoarders Franklin's combo. Like I feel like everybody who's played as and against Pinhead kind of understands that combo there. But I feel like the play style might have been a little bit better suited to maybe go with something like a maybe even a Thananophobia or something, because we saw a lot of like entered states kind of across the board, spreading the pressure, maybe getting that extra slowdown there. Whereas I don't know if we got a single chain hunt, but we did get to see him come for us. So, I mean, that's a win for me.
You know, we take the small victories.
I mean, I am always a fan. You know, I think so. What we got to see today with the play stream is a couple of things. One, we get to see the fun of seeing some killers that we don't typically get to see on some maps we don't get to typically see. But then we also get to see where it's like things for the people. We always constantly see Susie or Riot. We finally got to see Susie. I don't know who it was that put the challenge that made my night for the Cenobite, but I absolutely 100% appreciate you. And not even just that one though, I mean, honestly appreciate all of you guys for putting up all of the challenges tonight, because obviously we can put up the idea, but it takes the interaction from you guys, and it kind of shows how the community here within the the DVD comp scene likes to look out for one another. Because again, with this, we get to boost up our prize pools and put more, potentially be putting more cheddar in our players' pockets, and that's kind of a good incentive for them to be putting their best foot forward every week.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that this is a really fun start. I'm like also dealing with background stuff.
Oh, you're good.
Just cleaning up all of our play stream stuff. I do definitely, I think this is such a fun way for the community to get involved. I do enjoy the variety that this brings too. This is really for the people, and again, we do want to get back to you guys and thank you. So this is our way of showing appreciation to our players, to our viewers, let you guys have a little bit of fun. It's a good time.
Contract completed.
Oh, I thought that was about to be another one popping up sitting there. I was like, yo, we're done though. No, yeah.
No, sorry. I that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to mark all the redemptions as completed.
And so yeah, if y'all enjoy these, first off, if you guys enjoy these, make sure that you're kind of sharing your thoughts throughout the community, because we are going to be doing another one of these. We've got a regular match at 6 o'clock that just continues our week 11 action, and then tomorrow at 9 p.m. we'll have another one of these. So if you guys like this, come out tomorrow, help us create some hecticness for our survivors and our killers, as well as allow us to continue to raise that prize pool as well.
You guys, we will have several different teams doing this, so I think our next exhibition game is Hookers and Hex Girls. So you want to make your favorite Hookers or your favorite Hex Girls do some real crazy stuff. You know where to come do it. And then yeah, just keep an eye out. We do have a couple of these planned. I think we're gonna do a couple actually during postseason as well. Just for fun, again, this is to raise money and also build the community, have some fun with each other. So if you enjoyed this, keep an eye out, and don't be afraid to make any suggestions. If there's a redemption you would like to see, reach out to myself or Rambo or Vader or Q. Let us know what your ideas are. Because again,
not Q.
This is for
Q
all
doesn't
of us.
have that power.
Oh, that's right. Well.
Yeah. I just cast here.
I
I have no responsibility.
Y'all can slide into my DMs for Playstream requests or ideas. That's fine.
I have purposefully kept myself away from responsibility anywhere I go. I show up, I have fun and cast. If y'all need people to yell at, find someone else. Not me.
Very fair. Q stays in his lane very firmly. Okay, well y'all can come talk to me, about Playstream stuff, I guess.
And
we are not going to be doing an interview today. This was just a fun exhibition match. So we are gonna save the interviews for another day. But yeah, we do have a full weekend still coming up, so make sure you guys are checking out if you're not following, first of all, if you're for some reason not following, drop a follow, turn on your notifications, and you'll know when we're going live. But we also post on our social media when we're going live. You can get a notification on Discord if you want to. We have a Facebook, we have a Instagram. You can find us on any of your favorite social media platforms under Vigo's Court. That is how you can get updates about not only our schedule, but also things like player awards. Do you guys know that we do player awards? Each week we give an award to the best teams, the best killers, the best survivor squads, and the best players of that week. So if you guys didn't know we do that, we do that, and you can see those on our social media as well.
Indeed, we're trying to keep things, kind of cooking around here, trying to continue to bring new and innovative things for you guys, things for, it's kind of nice to see when you get recognized as like a top performer for a week, especially when you've got, across this league, any given week, you're talking about what, like 5 to 7 matchups or something like that. So, to be able to kind of be identified as like one of the top, definitely a cool thing here. And also worth noting, that even though Monarchy was throwing some challenges and things like that today to try and throw some wrenches in the gears, still I believe tied our highest score of the season thus far, as far as 95 points.
Yeah, they have definitely, even though this was a just for fun match, they definitely still came in and put a lot of points down on the table. So, I mean, if this was a normal game, and I'm still going to say it, Monarchy has been convicted of murder.
And keep in mind, we'll be back tomorrow and Saturday. Until we catch y'all back here next time, though, man, for real, with everything crazy going on in the world today, be true, be you, be sincere. Game hard and love hard, all right? That's Shep. I'm Q. Signing out.
See you guys tomorrow. We love you. Bye. Be safe.
Tell me